It's been a couple of years since last time I took a look at GameGlass, and since then there's been some massive updates. So I'm going to show you some of them today, and I think you will like them. Hello ladies and gentlemen. Very briefly, if you're not familiar with GameGlass, it's an app. You run it on a tablet, and you get a small interface like that. You can then go, you can sit, and you can click on it, and then you can basically interface with your game through a tablet, phone, or pretty much anything with a touchscreen. Before we start, I just want to say, while GameGlass has been a sponsor of the channel for a very long time, and I'm going to continue to work with them in the future, this video is not paid by them. They have not had any kind of say in how this video is made, what I'm going to include, or anything like that. This is completely just something I want to do because they made some pretty awesome stuff. Now we're going to start over here on the PC side of it, where you can see in the client app here that you now have legacy shards key binding. So there's some stuff around legacy shards. That's because in the past you would have these individual shards that they've made by GameGlass, and you would pay for those individually, or you could subscribe using like GlassPass or something like that. What you do now is you go in here to the My Shards section, and in here you can see you can now begin to create your own shards. And the way this works is quite simply. You go in here, you can go into some settings and set the resolution of the shard and those kind of things. But basically what you do is you can drag in buttons. Let's say I just want a simple button like this. I can of course rescale it as I see fit. But most importantly, if I go over here to the settings, I can do all kinds of stuff with it. I can change the colors, change the text of it. For instance, let's call this one for, I don't know, landing gear or something like that. Other than that, of course, you can now also add icons. They have like an icon library. So let's say I want to push landing gear like a horse. There we go. I'm going to add a horse to it. But there's a ton of different things you can do in here. Changing fonts. You can add borders around them, and there's also various effects. And of course, what you can also do is you can have one layout for when it's default, when it's idle, and when you tap it, you can then see it looks different. So in this case, the default is it just becomes a lighter color. So when you tap it, you change color. So there's a lot of customizations in here. And one of my favorite things we're going to play around with later is, for instance, there in the border section, you can also add custom radius borders to each corner, so you can have rounded corners and those kind of things. So you can sit and you can play around with this. And of course you can go into the action menus here, where you can determine what happens if you do a single tap or double tap, or if you hold down the button for a few seconds. You can have key bindings, mouse wheel, you can have it write text, you can add in delay, so you can make small macros, even play sound effects, go to a URL if you want to open up your favorite web page, down to a Astronomy YouTube channel maybe, or you can even go to another shard. So if you have multiple shards, different like pages basically, you can have links between them, all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool, and lots and lots of options. We're gonna make some more custom stuff here in a second. I'm gonna show you. Now, but that's not the only thing you can do, because now here you also have a marketplace. And the marketplace here is when you create your own custom shards, you can publish them out so others can pick them up and use them on their tablet. So for instance, let's say you want some Elite Dangerous shards. They are grouped by game out here. You can see there are people who have already pre-made some shards. So if any of these look like something you would like, you can see a lot of these shards in here are free. Here's for instance one called ED Foot. So I guess this would be a on-foot shard for Elite Dangerous. This is in a vertical mode, so this is probably intended for a phone, but you can probably find something similar if that's what you're looking for. And similarly, if we go over here and look at the Star Citizen shards, for instance, then you can see, for instance, someone here really liked the Aegis Eclipse. So they made a specific shard for the Eclipse here, which looks really, really good. So if you put in the time, you can really make something that looks absolutely awesome. The way they're doing their pricing at the moment is you can have a free account where you can try it out, see if it's something for you, where you have access to 2 shard slots. But if you want more, have access to the full features, then you're gonna have to pay for a GlassPass. Now this leads me on very nicely to the next section, which is about the new premium shards, because GameGlass and CIG has partnered up, and they have created some super awesome, very neatly tight integration shards that fits into Star Citizen. And these are the ones we have here. These are the premium shards. So if we take one, for instance, the combat shard here, we could see that either you get access to it for free if you have a GlassPass, or you can buy these shards individually. Now you can see I have them over here as well. If you open up the combat shard over here, there we can see it, and we can say, let's say I just want to take a look at that shard there. So we can see we have a number of different options. We have the little power triangle over here where we can move that. We have our shield where we can move it around the different parts of the ship. All that different stuff. Super awesome. And up here at the top, you can see it also says shard 1, 2, and 3. So that is, of course, because if you have multiple shards and you want to have direct shortcuts between them, then you can go in here and you can click actions and you can say go to shard. So let's say I want this to go to the avionics shard. Then I can put that in there, click done, go in here, and then maybe change the name of the shard to avionics if I want to do that. So you can sit and you can set that up. Set that up for yourself. But of course you can integrate these into your own shard. So what I've done, for instance, is I've created this Star Citizen Home shard, which is also on the marketplace if you're interested in it. And it just has basic buttons up here at the top where you can basically just have all these and they just point into, there's no actually effects in here, but you can have it a go to shard here. And then you would just select the shards that you wanted it to point to. And I just use that as a home screen. And that means if I need to swap between shards, I would just go to the home screen, select the shard I have, because you only have 3 different shards you can change to from the official ones. So having a home screen like this. And this is something that I just made, which was super, super quick. So just quickly want to show you how easy this actually is to work with. So I just built something, let's say something for Elite Dangerous. And let's say we want to build, I don't know, let's start with like building a top menu that basically can allow us to swap between the different shards if we want to make our own collection of shards. So I'm going to have one here called mining, for instance. Going to put that in there. Then we're going to go ahead and duplicate it, move that over there. Oh, there we go, so snaps. And let's say we're going to make one here for combat, like so. Maybe I just want to quickly take these out here in the corner. Let's put a border on these so that they look a little bit nicer, like so. Put some rounded corners on that one, and as well as the same thing on this one, like so. Okay, and maybe let's say that I'm building the combat shard. So maybe I want to go into this one and do something with the colors. Maybe I want to make it a little bit like so I can see that that is the activated shard, so that stands out a little bit. So now we can begin to build the actual combat shard. Maybe I want a number of buttons over here. Let's put a button there. Let's say maybe this one is for flight assist off. Maybe you can put that there. We can maybe duplicate it if we want a similar size. Oh, there we go. There we go, duplicate that down there. Maybe this one should be silent running. Okay, I need to adjust the font a little bit so that it actually fits on the bottom. But you can see here how we can very easily just sit and begin to build these things up. Maybe I'm just gonna take one here, just make a pip quick like a pip control area. So we're just gonna put a button there. Our reset. There we go. And oh, there's a little bit with the positioning there. It needs to be adjusted. There we go. We now have a little pip area. We could round off some of the corners if we wanted to do that. We can keep it as square corners. We can also just select all of it if you say, oh, I want that over here on the other side. So we can begin, and you can begin to sit and build up your shards. You can even just make passive buttons. So let's say I want to put like a box around this. Then I could take this and I could say, send that to the back layer, like so. I'm just going to remove the text from it, and like so. And then going to basically just put a box around that. And you can sit and you can play around with that as you see fit. Don't like the colors there, doesn't really match that well with the other things. But you get my point. You can sit here and you can play around with these things as you see fit. And you can make some pretty cool shots and you can share them with your friends over the dashboard. And as you can see, you can begin to build something very quickly. And again, if you want to put in pictures, you can do that. There's a lot of different options for what you want to do. If you want to use your own icons, then that's an option too. But if you are interested in GameGlass, then go and check it out at gameglass.d2ea.com, and I'll of course make sure that there's a link in the description. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you guys in space.